formed, we were formed originally from creation times, but we were the first nation to accept the great peace from the peacemaker, the Gunawida, 3,600 years ago. And then the Oneida, and then the Onondaga, then the Cayuga, then the Seneca. We became the first United Nations on Earth 3,600 years ago. We followed the law called Gayanarat Goa, which means Council of the Great Peace. At that time, we were at a state of incessant war, much like we're at now in the world, when the peacemaker came and brought us the formula for peace. So that's the history of the Mohawk Nation. We call our warriors Rodaskanragete. That means one who carries the burden of peace. That's what it means. Our mandate is to spread peace to the world. It's always been that way.
And are you feeling the burden of peace at the moment?
I certainly am.
Right.
As we all are.
Is there any steps being taken at the moment by the Canadian government, the Canadian corporation, to work alongside Mohawk nations at the moment?
No, they're going in for June 1st to arm their border goons, that's what we'll call them, with 9mm Berettas at Akwesasne, total sovereign Mohawk territory on both sides of the border. They put a border illegally through our country, or through our territory. Anyways, now they're going to arm themselves to start killing us en masse, I guess. The rest of the Canadians got to stand up and say, understand that they're next. We're all slaves to these people, and, the rest of the Canadian people are next if they keep allowing it to continue.
So you're foreseeing violence?
Well, why would they be arming their... June 1st, that's like a few days away, and they're going to be arming their border guards at Akwesasne, who are illegally on Akwesasne territory, with 9mm Berettas. So this is what the Canadian government's doing to negotiate with the Mohawks, by gunpoint, as they always have.
And is there any sign of any sort of commercial media picking up on this and sort of getting the word out to the rest of the nation?
No, they'll just be misinforming everyone, and always it'll be like that. Everything you read in the newspaper or hear on TV or radio is designed, all of it, for a reason. I mean, everything you hear is screened, and you're hearing it for a reason. So anything you hear on the corporate media, understand that. I mean, so no coverage on that.
One of the things which I've been sort of reading historically is that the Indian Act provided a model for the South African apartheid regime, and all this sort of colonial, or this institution of Canada, or the Corporation of Canada, sort of segregating Aboriginal peoples in status, non-status, and corralling them on reservations. To what extent is the Indian Act a source of a lot of the problems taking place with neo-colonialism against the Mohawk Nation and Aboriginal peoples, and is getting rid of the Indian Act, and could that be a basis of the Aboriginal peoples finally affirming their sense of rights, human dignity, and sense of sovereignty as people in the world, and in Canada specifically? Do you think that the getting rid of the Indian Act would be a basis of moving things forward, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the Indian Advancement Act of 1924 is the act you're referring to. It was authored by Duncan Campbell Scott. At that time, he was the Minister of Indian Affairs in Canada, the most powerful person in Canada in all colonial times. So in 1923, we sent over Descahe, one of the 50 chiefs of the Confederacy, a Cayuga. He went over to the Netherlands to present our admission, we were going to join the League of Nations, and we were sponsored by 6 other countries. Now, what Britain did was block every attempt for us to join them, because Canada was not qualified to join because they were a colony of Britain, but we were qualified to join. So anyways, Britain did all their dirty tricks to make sure that we didn't even get our day to join the League of Nations, like to stand up. When Descahe got back from Europe, Duncan Campbell Scott was so enraged, he wrote the Indian Advancement Act, where he introduced blood quantum legislation, which is apartheid. He introduced the reserve system that we now have, which was prison camps. There was guards at everyone. No Indian could come or go without going through the Indian agent. This is just exactly what Hitler followed when he set up, and South Africa. Canada is the first fascist state in the world. fascism is nothing but corporatism, according to Mussolini, who should know. And Canada incorporated in 1867, so that makes them the first fascist state. And the illusion is that you're free. Anyone who believes they are free, no one is more enslaved than that.
Well, definitely, those are wise words and a sort of an insight which most Canadians are completely unaware of. And we at AVR here, 95.7 FM Ottawa, are grateful for you taking the time to share these ideas with many people who are unfamiliar with the whole critical context of the Mohawk Nation and their continuing oppression in spite of so-called rapprochement has been expressed through the corporate media. And perhaps I was wondering if you could be able to share that your blog and your website information so that people who are listening to this AVR program could on Counterculture could be able to perhaps get on your email list, read more about your ideas, and get some of these wise words after they listen to the show. So would you be able to do that? Or?
Yeah. Well, my blog is dahoge.de. .blogspot.com. That's my blog. Mm-hmm. And you spell Dahoge.te, THAHOKETOTEH. Mm-hmm. And then I have my music on MySpace, myspace.com/Dahoge.de, and I have a website, dahoge.de.ws. Mm-hmm. So people can follow my stuff there, and I usually am trying to write about things we should be talking about. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That affect us all.
Mm-hmm. And I know from experience from being on your email list that your thoughts that you express are very wise, insightful, and definitely not the type of insights that we get from the sort of the commercial media today. So I invite everybody listening to this program to definitely get on your email list and read what you have to say, and hopefully we can start moving forward and redressing these rights as a country from nation to nation, and because many Canadians, if it wasn't for the Mohawk Nation, there wouldn't be a Canada, because the Mohawk Nation was there to defend Canada strategically as a strategic alliance, and the type of atrocities going against the Mohawk Nation as a leading participant in the historical struggles for Canada is definitely very disturbing to any Canadians who are concerned about social justice, rights, and who love Canada in general. That they can thank their the fact that we have a Canada by the elders and your ancestors, which help defend us as a country. So we thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today, and hopefully we'll be having more discussions with each other so that we can start moving forward to a mutual prosperity and quality of life for everyone. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, and take care then. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.